Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Karandrin Role Playing. I am Cracked Palantir, also known as Kevin Manus Pennings. I will be your game master for the evening. And joining us today is, of course, with episode 2 of his Brave Adventure coming up, is our good buddy Josh Waters playing Ganri Birch.
The, dare I say, cutest. I would say handsome, but he's so short and chubby and cherubic in the cheeks. You know, I, he's just a handsome little fella. Is what he is.
Is he pinchable? Is he
Oh man,
pinchable?
if he weren't so gruff in his dwarfly fashion, yes, I don't think there would be a grandmother or aunt or possibly even child alive that could resist pinching his cheeks. He's
That's right. Just to give just a very brief rundown of the game itself and our thing, Karandrin is a setting that I've been playing in and creating for the past 30 years. Everything is completely sandbox and completely organic. That is, if something you meet a character in a city, that character will be in that city unless something happens to him or her, and you can meet them again. Uh, the adventures are up to the player to find, pursue, abandon, whatever. I will make it up as we go. Sometimes with a day notice. Sometimes the players screw me, and I just have to be really, really quick on my feet. Last time in episode 1, we had Ganri in the city of Galandos researching at a city temple using their library, researching various matters of importance to him, particularly a demon called the Night Taker, rumored to steal children. And now he has heard word that the priests here are very alarmed at a creature called a dromivore, a creature that Ganri has heard of literally empire-wide destruction. And he was shocked to find that it was so close to home that these local priests are worried. And now he is scurrying off within the temple to make quiet warnings to tell what he knows about the dromivore. And so that's where we were last time. And so, um, what I have down here, Josh, is that you were heading down to the large courtyard opening of the temple, and you had been instructed by another priest to ask to speak to Gabrus, someone fairly high up, and you're supposed to try to keep your priest's name out of it, right? Does that sound
yes,
correct?
that does. That was the intention, as far as I understood it. I was also going to attempt to keep my name out of it if at all possible. But
Well, I don't think there's any risk that these temple guys will be like going to seize you or whatever. They might take you aside for questions
sure,
to
sure.
find out. But I don't think you're. I don't think even Ganri believes that he's in any real danger. Um, well, all right. So you go down. I managed to take out your notes, and I did not take out your stupid character sheet like an idiot. But that's all right. I am organized enough to have it relatively immediately on hand.
I did use my character sheet's intelligence as a dump stat,
That,
so
that's that,
it's fair to call my character sheet stupid.
that's funny. I use my whole life as a dump stat. That's what it feels like thus far. It's
Yeah, I
like,
was going to say when you mentioned earlier about your character screwing you, we should put that up for an option in chat. Uh,
that's right. That's right.
See how good this sandbox master really is.
Right. Um, so, all right. So you run down. Of course, there are guards, scattered here and there at various entrances and so on, dressed in temple colors. Um, they're predominantly dwarves, although, as you know, this is a nation also of elves and men. Um, there's a pair of dwarves relatively near you. What would you like to do?
The pair that are near me, It's my uh, take on them by observation. They
Um, they look like they don't take their job seriously. They must be to this new to this duty. They show none of the sharpness and sort of dignity that their role would demand.
keep scanning. Do I see an older, more serious-looking dwarf about?
You're passing them up, are you? Just passing them up. Um, Certainly, there are better. Um, what is the word there? There are dwarven guards taking their job more seriously, though just as young. Um,
Well,
uh,
the age is probably not as big a factor for me as the apparent.
Gravity of their role.
Yeah, so I'm fine with the younger if that's.
Yeah, you cross the courtyard. Um, you do see a single adventurer, just throwing it out there, just because it's the case. You do
Mhm.
see a single adventurer passing through. Um, um, Not particularly hiding their adventuriness. For you, our previous viewers may remember that in this world, um, the um, adventurers um, are sort of shunned because um, they are not considered sane people who go out and visit, um, seek out danger and visit the unusual. Um, um, but So anyway, she comes in. It's a female dwarf. Um, has a chest floating beside her, so clearly someone who is out brazening it, so to speak. Um,
If
and
she,
say again.
if possible, are we sort of passing this way, or
If
is it more?
they're entering, you're coming from a side. So if they continue on their path, they will cut behind you, at a 90-degree angle.
Okay. If I mean, don't stare at them, but looking in that direction. If they happen to cut eyes at me, just give them a little nod.
Okay.
Don't attempt to change my course to intercept them or anything. Just
Um, she pauses actually and gives you a deep bow and a very broad smile. Uh, Fairly open for a dwarf, if you know what I mean. I mean, fairly expressive, which is
yeah.
not. Um,
All right. I'll let a little larger of a smile creep on my face then, I guess. And
okay. And unzip. Um, the guards note you coming. Glance at each other, saying, make sure they both see that there's
mhm,
someone approaching, and um, they greet you in Peninsular Dwarven. Um,
return in like fashion.
Welcome to the temple, says one. How can we help you?
I was told to ask for Gabrus.
They don't really flinch. They motion to a passing acolyte. Um, Older dwarven male. um, he flinches when they mention the word Gabrus. He glances at you and uh, looks at you curiously. Um,
Bi curiously.
that's that's it. This is going to take a whole new direction here in just a bit. Um, So, it says, does Master Gabrus know you're coming? Is expecting you, perhaps?
He is not.
He's very busy at the moment. Is there anyone else you might speak to?
I was told to ask for Gabris.
It will be impossible to pull him away from his present work unless I can give him a word as to what this is about.
Lean forward. I'll whisper one word in your ear. Deliver that word to Gabris. I will wait.
Um, he leans in, suspiciously, as all dwarves do.
And I will lean in erotically, as this dwarf does.
Oh, buddy.
Dromaphore.
You really gave that to us. Well, if anyone else is creeped out, I'm right there with you.
This
So,
is the ASMR session, is it not? That's the note that I received.
oh, hey, on our Twitch stream, we have advertising. That's fantastic.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Do you see that?
I do. It popped up in the restream chat.
All right. Um,
I want to become famous. I need to click this link real quick. Hold
um, he he backs up and looks at you. Roll for me.
Sort of a mustardy 89.
89. He's clearly never heard of the word.
Okay.
Um, he sort of mouths it to himself and turns and goes. Um, um, and you stand and wait.
Have I
Um,
taken note of the weather today since I've been out?
yes,
And what sort of day is it?
uncharacteristically warm, and clear and windy.
Warm, clear, windy. Okay. So just kind of, rocking back and forth, looking around. A bit warm to the guards.
Right. Aye, sir. The wind should freshen some sails coming into port, though, huh?
That should.
One of them asks, I don't mean to bother. Dwarf's business is his own, but what line are you in?
Do I understand him to be asking about my family name by that question? Or
No.
work? Work.
Work.
Okay.
Means of sustenance.
Gotcha. um,
Cheesy cauliflower from my wife. Cauliflower.
oh,
Cauliflower.
delicious. All right. I'm going to say, well, here until recently, sheep. These days, a bit of this, a bit of that.
Sheep's good trade.
Fine animal.
Your family have good stock?
Don't mean to brag, but I believe we do.
Nothing wrong with bragging. Their countenance changes as a much more serious guard comes down, older. Um, armed, chainmail, helmet.
Hmm. Okay.
He's probably got a couple of centuries on him. Um, Keeping in mind, and for our audience, that in this game, dwarves live 500 years.
And they would walk 500 miles.
They would. They would walk 500 miles. I'm glad you brought that up. And I would play the song now, except we would be sued.
I would venture to say there will be an additional 500 miles walked, assuming there was an emotional payoff at the end of that 1,000-mile walk.
That's
But
right. All right, roll for me. Roll for me your gut feeling on the guy. And
you
then
got a nice 1954. Just the 54 part. Sorry, I always
that
do the
was
19.
really confusing. That was really confusing.
Yeah, just the 54 part.
Um, um, Not a good feel. You take an instant dislike to him.
Hmm.
There's a sense of a man who enjoys abuse, and you're definitely getting that vibe from the way that the younger guards here are acting.
Yeah.
This is a man who abuses his position. Um, a bully, I guess, is really the word we're looking for. And roll
Gotcha.
again for me.
Hello, keeper in chat.
Oh, Keeper is back. So lovely.
I really think that I know there are special roles in Rollmaster, the 66 and Natural 100. I'm angling that this become something of importance, especially when it's a sort of a teal green that way.
Well, Keeper, tell them to hurry up. We miss them immediately.
Yes. Having a feeling that I kind of know this type of guy a little bit, I obviously will attempt to make everything very respectful, so as not to present any challenge to him.
Yeah, go get down that line. He's um, he's cloaked. Really more of a cape, clearly ceremonial. But there's about something about the way that it moves that tells you that it's magical. It's not flowing exactly with the breeze. It
Yeah.
seems to be in some way have a will of its own, moving about.
Does it sort of flutter up in the back as he shifts from side to side?
Groans. Do you see that elephant run by? See that? Um,
Frogs all over this courtyard. Just keep stepping on them.
exactly. It's a gas. And he says he looks you up and down. Um, Gives you a sort of a disapproving, dismissive look, and he's like, "Youngster, come with me." And he walks off.
I'll follow behind.
He snaps his head around. Keep up, abreast, abreast.
I'll pick up the pace.
Um, you come to some of the sheltered walkways at the back of the courtyard. He pulls you aside. He says, "We're in no mood for fooling just now, and I've never been much for it. What do you mean coming in here and dropping a word like that? What's your business?"
My business is with Gabris. I have information. That is all.
Roll for me.
91.
Well, he kind of, is taken aback by the your delivery. Um, I'm tasked with Gabris's safety, as well as the safety of much of this temple. I can tell that you mean well, youngster. I won't begrudge you that fact. But Gabris is very busy and very important. What you can say to him, you can say to me.
I would not waste his time. Anything on me, you're free to take. I represent no threat, but I must deliver to Gabbers the information that I have. So I raised my hands, but it wasn't in the frame. Sorry. So I had my hands out when I did that, and I realized it didn't show up. So
Yeah, I do that too. Like I did that thing where he gestured to a. I just did it again. He gestured to an acolyte. You can't see that shit. My
you bring it in just a little off frame, just a finger. Oh, let me do it that way.
yeah.
Just comes in.
No, if I just do it like that, like you don't know what the hand gesture is. You don't know how they gesture here. Did I see the secret hand signal? Apparently not. Was cut off by your viewfinder that you wear in Karandrin.
My macro binoculars.
Um, what weapons you have on you?
If I'm not mistaken, I am like everything's on me, right? I don't recall leaving anything anywhere or not being.
Well, you usually should have that denoted, like whether you're in your town
Yeah,
gear.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I haven't been.
Sounds like a player fail.
Hold on one second.
It's not going to be good. Black
Go look
arrow
in my
time.
notes real quick. But
Oh, it comes out of nowhere, Josh.
yeah, because I teleported to the Three Torches in the morning, right after finishing up at the quarry.
Yeah.
Um, I didn't even go up to my room because I met with that guy. Um, and I hired a coach. Yeah, I think everything's on me, man.
So, how
Um,
many weapons does that include? Dear
uh,
God.
yeah, quite a few. So, I mean, I've got. Well, I've got my rod, obviously. On my belt, I have one, two, two
But
daggers.
you're willing to unload, right?
I am.
He nods as you. She's like, continue to disarm and follow me. He goes when they pass a guard. He stops him and says, "Carry this man's weapons." You don't attempt to hide anything, right?
No, I'm straightforward.
All right. So you're hiding a dagger. Got you. Um, what about your? Do you want them to worry about your rod being a weapon? Wink, wink.
Um,
Knowledgeable people will see it as a potential
yeah,
weapon.
no, I should offer that up. I think.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I should offer that up too.
He
I'll
says,
just, the guard that takes it though, I'll just look at him and kind of give him a take care with this.
"Of course, sir. Of course." Dwarves are such unpleasant people. That's why I chose you to play one. Um, you he follows dutifully behind. Um, this fellow says to you, our lead guard here says to you, "I was wondering if you were going to admit to being a spellcaster.
No reason to lie in the temple.
You've not been to many temples." And they go, you go fairly high up to some of the higher reaches of the temple. Um, you come to a grand door. He looks at the guard who's following you. Keep him here. He taps lightly on the door, then lets himself in. Um, there is a brief wait, and the door opens, and this older dwarf sticks his head out and tells you to come in gruffly.
Proceed.
It is a very well appointed office. Rich, expensive wooden shelves. Um, there are golden emblems to Olshan marked on the corners where the junctions where shelf and the sides meet. Um, there is a work in the corner of Olshan um, standing atop a pile of slain trolls.
Okay.
And as always, he's depicted as the same size as a troll, basically. Um,
Nice and big for a dwarf.
um, Gabris, which I have rolled up a little more fully for you. He's a male dwarf of beyond middle age, extremely tall, but average build, fairly plain looking. Short red and hair that's graying. His beard is slightly longer than it doesn't reach his chest by any means. So just sort of a neck length beard, if you will. I mean, it only just comes off his face. Um, his hair is a little bit longer than mine is now, surprisingly short. And he wears a simple red cap. Um, and dressed in robes denoting considerable responsibility. He is seated at his desk. There are volumes of lore open. There is a couch in the foreground, um, um, and two seats facing opposite that couch. So you would walk past them, to get to his desk. He does not rise when you enter, which is irksome but not unexpected. Um,
In continuation of the respect I'd shown previously, whatever gesture is formal in this
mhm.
particular. I don't know if that would be a bow or a.
Yeah, it would be a bow here,
Okay.
and the deeper, the more respectful.
All right. I will attempt to give him a nice deep bow.
Um, he looks up. How are you called, boy?
Ganri will do.
Ganri. Master Harkin here brings word that you know a word that only a handful in these nations know. What is your business here?
I'll not waste your time. If you follow the Shag Tower, they travel to lands, not these lands. Lands with strange people, strange words. Name of Kyler Vane was mentioned to me. This beast is there. Eats the land, as it were, so big. They say travelers from here have been there. One there now fighting it, my understanding. Beyond me, just when I heard it here, I wasn't expecting it, was all. It was presented to me as something apocalyptic. Thought the right people should know.
And how is it that you heard it here?
In your library, I asked to see a book. I was told several have been taken regarding this, and something. Real quick, I'll also ask about the wise briar. Right, that was the other thing that
Yes.
was gone. Okay, I had asked about something describing this, fitting this description. That and something along the lines of the wise briar. It told me all those books have been taken in a fashion that people seemed to might worried. People generally aren't worried unless there's a reason to be.
I'm not sure you've answered his question in terms of how you heard the word drumivore here.
Did I not ask the person in the library and then said the word and they said, hey, all those books have been taken? Wasn't that how I came across it here?
Well, but that's
Because nobody said it to me, right? I gave a description. Have you heard? Is there something about a creature and I described it, right? Isn't that kind of how that went down? Or no?
well, I mean, well, in terms of how you heard it, I think you asked about that creature
Yeah,
and
hold on.
she
Let
asked
me.
what you knew, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm trying to present the truth. I just didn't want it to be a it's not like somebody said it out loud to me. It's just I ask in a roundabout way. Well, maybe I can try it that way. Yeah. So I asked for information in a roundabout way of something fitting the description of the creature in your library, and was told that books related to that topic had been removed, and the people who did so looked rather worried. I guess is that I'm trying. I don't want to mislead him. I guess is what I'm trying to get to there. So
So you just happened to request books on this creature. You were told that it was those books were gone, and what would then bring you to me?
the sense of worry described in the removal of the books led me to believe that whoever needed them needed that information. Uh,
Sort of like they've been removed urgently.
as though you were trying to figure out a way to defend yourself and, I suppose, by implication, this land from this creature. As it was described to me, this thing is beyond any danger that we know.
And this Kyler Vane, a land beyond ours, you said.
I,
You've traveled there?
I have followed the Shag Tower. I would say I don't know what I was thinking, but rightly I might not have been thinking. That Shag Tower is a magnificent beast. I just followed it. I believe it led me to this place. Not a place I could get to with my own power, I'll tell you that.
Describe this Kyler Vane to me.
Strange land, no sun, magnificent tall trees, very disorienting. The light appeared to come from the trees. The people there, quite strange. And then I'll sort of describe the ant folk and the bird folk and,
Yeah.
give some sense of that. As
Roll for
far as
me.
I could tell, no ocean.
Roll for me.
25.
Okay. And this Shag Tower, no, that's not where he would start. He would start with you're saying that Kyler Vane itself is under threat by this creature.
My understanding there is that there are several countries fighting this thing. Well, I would refer to them as countries. Is that how I'll refer to them? What I
Um,
Yeah.
Kingdoms,
Kingdoms? Okay. Several kingdoms.
peoples.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Several peoples who might normally be at each other's throats are all together fighting this thing. Lands have been lost. Great tentacles coming through portals, demolishing, devouring worlds. I cannot underplay how dangerous this thing was presented to me, and I tend to believe that representation to be correct. Now, I never saw it, right?
No, you would have to have traveled.
I cannot claim to have seen it with my own eyes, but if I can judge a person at all, there was truth in their claim.
And where else did this shag tower take you?
Fortunately, back again, because I may have been imprisoned there, as I didn't belong there.
Roll.
It's going to give you a 90, hot pink, sort of magenta.
He is clearly surprised that the shag tower didn't take you to yet another land.
Hmm, interesting.
And for our audience, the shag tower are sort of if you imagine a giraffe as a Clydesdale, it's a woolly giraffe that live in the upper valleys of this very mountainous peninsula. And the dwarves of this nation, Garamore, they believe the animal to be sacred. It's illegal to hunt them and so on. Um, but they really are a woolly giraffe. Hello, Kelly. Thank you for joining us. Um, um,
I, I had a strong desire to return home. I don't know if that factored in at all, but and I presented no threat to the creature. I think it knew that as well.
how long ago was this journey?
Gosh, how long ago was that? One sec. That was.
Probably what? A couple of weeks ago? No, probably maybe 10 days
I
ago.
don't think it. Yeah, hold on. I think it's in that range. Let's see. I got back on. That's in the notes that I haven't transferred yet. I think I got back on the 11th, maybe. Does that sound about right? Hold on one second.
Um,
I can tell you for sure. It was. Okay, I was there on the 10th, 11th. I think we got back on the 12th, early in the
yes.
day.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like 9 days. I got you. So like 9 days ago.
Uh,
I should take a moment and paste our. What does that do? There we go.
those sound delicious, Kelly. It's my favorite type of muffin.
And here is a link to Ganri's notes, character sheet, and as well as a donate link. Um, so you can take a look at his past adventures if you'd like, and we'll try to repost those periodically. Um, they'll also be in the description of all of our links, the description of all of our videos. We'll post his notes, and Josh will be updating those notes throughout. Um, so you can read about more of his adventures, or to the extent that he's got them typed up.
I have a
Uh,
lot of days in there, but there's still a few days I got to transcribe over from the handwritten stuff. So,
right. Um, and we appreciate it, Kelly. You're very sweet to have done that. We really appreciate it. Um, so So you don't feel, my young lad, as though you're in any way possessed by this creature.
I do not. Don't have any indication personally. I never saw it, heard it, felt it, smelt it.
Dealt it.
Um, and I've interacted with many people since my return, some of whom I suspect might notice if something were amiss, off about me, different in some way. None have brought that to my attention or given me any indication or reason to be worried about it.
um, do you want to describe to them what you've heard from Kyler Vane about the consequences of the Drumivore's dominance of certain regions?
Yeah, hold on, let me pull that up so I can give them an accurate.
Well, I mean, I can tell you if you don't recall.
Um, yeah, that's fine. I mean, that might save us some time. I just wanted to make sure I still had the.
Um,
It's right here. Okay. Yeah, because basically what I have is well, it's basically a description of the Dromivore, right? It's a massive creature that reaches through thousands of portals with its tentacles. Um,
and the tentacles just flail and grasp and throw. I mean, there is no real sense of intelligence to it. But then more portals open and more portals open, then larger portals open, and eventually, what you get is just, if it continues unchecked, you'll just get literally hundreds and thousands of square miles of just devastated wasteland with these tentacles just thrashing about, some large enough to demolish a house with a blow. I mean, the size of trees, some of these things. The mass, the fundamental thing that these tentacles are connected to, if such a thing exists, is not known. But at least in Kyler Vane, it has completely destroyed one nation, making it uninhabitable and making it a people of refugees. And
just to
now
the
these,
south of where I was, correct?
yeah, about a week of
Okay.
travel to the south. And so the
Uh,
Drumivore dominates there, and the armies there are um, have joined together to try to slay tentacle after tentacle. When you kill a tentacle, we know that the portal closes, and you ultimately have to kill them all to end the threat to your land.
or
And
you could
this,
collect them all if you want to be a good Dromivore trainer. I'm getting some echo. Are you hearing something?
I'm not hearing echo. Hey, is there any our listeners? Do you hear some echo, folks? Let us know. Let us know.
I will also mention to, gosh, is it Varus? No, that's not right. What's this guy's name?
Malvis?
Malvis.
Wait, wait,
Uh,
wait. The guy you're talking to, or are you going to mention?
well, I need both. So Gabrus is the guy I'm talking to, right? So to Gabrus, I will also mention about Malvis. There's apparently a powerful magic user from our lands there fighting this thing. Goes by the name of Malvis. I wasn't able to meet him, but they say that he's devoted quite a bit of his time and resources into this. So if you've come across that name, that that
Roll
may
for me.
be sure. But hit
They're
it.
they're hearing you. They're hearing you echo.
That's what I was hearing a second ago. I'm not hearing it now though.
Huh. Interesting.
Maybe it went and came and went.
Well, maybe our next stream. I mean, maybe it's a I don't know, a delay issue, something like that. I
It's
don't think it's
possible. This thing was being finicky earlier. Maybe I bumped it or something. I moved around. Anyway, 45 was the roll on that. Okay, hold on. I'm going to turn you down. See what we got there. All right, see if that helps.
okay. Um, his mic is picking up his. Hey, Quinn. Everybody, Quinn for the win is online, on stream, still trying to feel better. So, everybody, let's everybody wish Quinn speedy recovery. Let's send him some internet love. And I don't mean order him a bride like we did last time. Um,
Yes, my hair was amputated.
um, you see, when you mention that it destroys whole nations, Harkin and Gabris exchange a look. Um, the name Malvis does not seem known to Gabris. You know, you're not really watching. You're not really watching Harkin, who stands beside you.
Kelly beat us to the shrimp bosses already.
Oh man,
The shrimp boss is at gymnastics. She'll be back in a little bit.
that's right. Um, so, um, is there anything you want to try to get out of this conversation? Now that you sort of see the deal here, you've
Right.
got the vibe. I mean, I mean, you know that they have no obligation. They're certainly under no power to answer your questions.
Sure, sure. Um, well, okay. Yeah, so I'll do it this way. Um, I didn't come here seeking anything other than to deliver this information to you once I realized this may involve my people, our people. This is my home. I view any threat to it as I assume any good dwarf of Garamore would. I'm not looking for anything in return. Having said that, I did just establish a relationship with your temple in hopes to use your library. I believe you know my line of work.
It's been mentioned.
Once again, not looking for anything, but you know my name. You can find me if you need anything.
Have you had you in your time in this land, Kyler Vane? Had you heard of any connection between the Shag Tower and the Drumivore?
I don't believe I had I?
No.
Did I ask about that? I feel like I can't even remember if I asked about that now that I think about it,
I
though.
don't see why you would, but roll
Yeah,
for me.
that gives us a 43.
Yeah, you find it very strange that he's asking.
Okay,
So a part of it is you're like, well, certainly some of these tentacles must have killed some of these sacred creatures.
sure.
Um, um, and so, I mean, it's not, I'm obviously a threat to the people would be enough, but not just that, that, you know, they could wipe out the Shag Tower if the threat continues. Um, so, um,
Funny, Kelly. I like that. And for the low, low cost of 100 mithril, I will give you the information you seek. Um, yeah, so no to that question then would be my answer.
Trying to think if there's anything they would ask you, and you need to be thinking if there's anything you want, like I said, information wise. I don't want you to regret walking out of this meeting.
Sure. Okay. Then I think I will bring that up while we're sort of doing a little back and forth here. Um, I initially came here looking for answers about a demon known as the Night Taker. I realize that's beyond my means. However, I met some survivors, people who had escaped or been rescued, as it were.
He peers at
And
you. He says, "You're Breziard's contact.
I'd prefer to cause him no trouble.
You're the lad with the story about the Night Taker." He again glances at Harkin. Harkin um, just grunts, hard to read. And now here you come with a story about the Dromivore. But at least here, you at least reference something that exists.
Once again, it's a thing I have not seen with my own eyes, but to hear the survivors talk of it, it was an imagination. And strangely, portals were involved with both these creatures. I was looking for information because I heard a group of islands near here. Three shields? Is it
Yeah,
three? I always mess
the
it up.
three shields. Yeah.
The three shields may be a location for one of these portals. And then I'll give them a description with the colors on the portal, how they appeared, and because
The
that one, those portals were sort of the purpley glow, isn't that right on those?
Shag Tower.
No, the Night Taker that had a portal that led down to the area. Did
I
it
think
not?
so.
Okay. Um, yeah. So you know, actually, I can talk about all the portals, how they're each distinct, how there's different colors associated, with the different portals and that sort of thing, and um, you know, I really want to put out there like I have a sense of I don't know if debt's the right word, but like I definitely don't want to lead it towards atonement. I'll put it that way. But I do want to, put out there that sense of like I feel like a responsibility to try to do something good here. Right? This is something dangerous, obviously beyond my means to do anything about, but
Because you in no way murdered people in town.
not at all. That would be not me. Definitely not me. Um, but I want to try to put forward a sense that, like, I know I can't fight any of these things or defeat any of these things or any of that, but I can get information about these things and bring it to people who might could do something. You know, at least make them aware that hey, there is this thing doing stuff to our people. All right, make it a real sense of dwarven pride. Like these are our brothers and sisters that are being taken.
Hmm.
What's your nephew's name, Kelly? Little babies. Little stinker. They all are at that age, I guess.
It's true. Uh, Roll for me, Josh.
That is going to give you an 88.
It does occur to you that the obvious question to ask, although you don't know the odds of getting an answer.
Okay.
is where do they believe the Dromivore has invaded?
Okay. All right. I'm going to try to phrase not delicately, but I'm going to try to phrase that a certain way.
We got a drum roll from Changeling Blaze. Thank you.
I know this is beyond my station, but you believe this thing to be here. No? The Dromivore, that is. I know we just discussed the Night Taker, so I want to be clear about that. You believe the Dromivore to be here.
He um, doesn't even check with Harkin for the answer. He says again,
Again.
it is not the first time.
Forgive my age and naivety. Shall I say naivete? That's probably not a word I would say.
I
Um,
don't think so. I don't think any dwarf says that.
yeah. You were right to call me boy. These are things I do not know, would not know.
Welcome, Anti Schmo.
Hey, hold on. Oh, there he is. This is deep. What's up, buddy?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Um, I think I'd said something along the lines of, my age, and these are things I don't know. I'm
Right.
too young to know these. And it was foolish. I guess I would add then, it was foolish of me to assume this would have been the first time.
Our records, and of course, it's really only for this region, show that this will be the third time that our temple has helped to intervene against the creature.
I may not be what you need, but I'll volunteer to help in any way I can.
The matter is in hand presently, although I am curious that there is no mention of this Malvis, this spellcaster that you have referenced, who fights the Dromivore. It would seem that his attentions have been split to another world while his own lies in peril. But still, you are showing your true dwarven spirit to offer to help against such a foe. But as brave as you are, I could not ask that. Wow. At, at present, it is 20 or 30 tentacles, only one size of a tree. And with a concerted effort, they should be put to rest, assuming it has no tentacles elsewhere in this world.
I imagine I will travel a bit. If I should come across mention or sighting of such an intrusion, I presume you would want to know as soon as possible.
Immediately, yes.
If I were a distance away, would a Temple of Olshan be the correct place to go to relay such information?
Really, any temple in Garamore belonging to our pantheon. Lesser ones, of course, are rarely kept in touch. The larger the temple, the more likely the message will go out. Roll for me. I'm going to give you a 1 in 100 chance. I thought the other night of an amazing way to possibly slay a dromivore.
Holy crap!
I
Does it need to
did.
be 100 from my
Yes.
roll?
Yes.
I did not get 100. I had a 55. Oh, hey, I know. Real quick,
Yeah.
can I use my miracle roll
Yeah.
now to think of the
Yeah.
amazing slay a dromivore?
And so before you roll, to explain, just as a little goof in Karandrin, years ago, I introduced the concept of a miracle roll. You can ask any question like, does the Goblin Nation turn into marmalade? And if you roll a double odd, a 100, no modifications allowed, then I have to make it happen. Josh is one of the few players who's ever gotten a miracle roll. And as always, whenever Josh plays, he screws things up for me.
I just do ridiculous stuff and try to break his world. It's no big
So
deal.
true. And so, um, last time that he got one, he was the only character. I said one of the. I'm not sure anyone else has gotten one, but you get one miracle roll a session. Um, and so,
I'm gonna do it on camera so we can. Let me get my finger in the right place. Oh, the ladies are home. Okay, ready?
all right,
Ah, terrible
no,
luck.
43. Okay.
Didn't get it. That's all right. Hey, ladies. Thank you.
Thank your daughter because she told me what to get you.
Oh, good
I
job.
couldn't remember. What did we get them? We got you.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Or Jimmy Jones?
It's fine. Just we're in the middle of thing. All right, I'm back. Sorry.
So,
Okay. All right.
miracle roll, schmirkle roll.
Yeah,
Is
we
what
were
Kelly
almost there.
says. Um, so, um,
Oh, Quinn says, "Remember Keith and the giant eagle."
I don't, I don't remember that.
Do you want to
Do we
say
need to
hey?
take a break? Should we
We
take
have
a break?
watchers right now. Uh, sure. Yeah, let's do that. We can take
All
our.
right.
We'll
We're going
play
to take
some.
a brief break. Josh is going to hug some family. And so go get some drink, everyone. Go pee. And then we'll be right back. Thank you guys for joining us. Welcome back, everybody. I see that we've been talking about dwarven procreation, and
Oh,
let me just correct a few common misconceptions. Ganri is actually the offspring of a horse and a poodle.
what kind of horse?
Um, that's a, I think it was a Clydesdale. Um, unfortunately, um, unfortunately, it was a male Clydesdale and a miniature poodle. And so Ganri's character is dead, and that is the end of Karandrin Ganri's tale. Thank you for watching. Oh, no, all right.
I think it's called a cloodle if it's a Clydesdale and a poodle
A
combined. Is
cloodle.
that
Why don't you get
cloodle?
a cloodle, sir? Why don't you get a cloodle?
Oh, I've got a raging cloodle.
Um, he says again, I appreciate your bravery. I do. Um, but a complication is that this particular mountaintop is in orc lands. And of
Hmm.
course, they'll take no word from us as to how to handle the affair.
Couldn't happen to more pleasant folk, huh?
Well, until your description of them, of the breadth of destruction they could reach, our plans were in doubt. Your news couldn't come at a better time, I suppose.
Well, I'm sorry to have taken up so much of your time. I appreciate you seeing me. If there's anything else you need,
Oh, you're asking? I'm sorry. I thought you were.
yeah, no, I was just kind of giving it if there's anything else you need, and then I'll, do the bow and I meant to bring no trouble to Breziard.
Interesting. Hmm. Oh, crap.
I hate that you can't scroll through the past chat and restream like you can if I were logged in on YouTube or Twitch or whatever.
Oh, that's weird. I can, but I guess I'm in my studio mode through
Yeah,
Restream, sending it
yep.
out, so I can, huh? Um, tell me, young mage, what tomes do you seek? If there is a spell book that could be of service to you in this temple, I will do what I can to see to it you have it. I really didn't expect him to offer a reward. I thought I'd roll for it, and a 200,
Oh my gosh.
285 is what I rolled.
Wow. That is
And
incredible.
to our audience, that's of course with a on a scale roughly of 1 to 100, but you can exceed that by rolling a 95 or higher, and then you roll again.
All right, Kev, based on um, the conversations I've had with Ebergon and the training I've done thus far, um, had he made a recommendation in what direction I should sort of push next? I mean, I know we've had some conversations about illusions, and I know, like, as the player of the character, I've been trying to figure out a way to sort of implement that more. Because I mean, just thus far, just the natural flow of things, it hasn't come up to be as useful as.
Well, you knew that there were spells your mentor taught you, um, listed for you the chief spells in illusions.
Hmm.
You recall that? That's on the bottom of your personality sheet. So you have deceptions, which is quick and ready-made illusions. You have guises for disguising one's appearance. You have senses for adding other senses to a visual illusion. You have light, which is the manipulation of light and darkness, and you have sound.
Okay. Do I feel like asking for something along the line of guises would be untoward in a temple? I mean, I know obviously I wouldn't do anything like, yes, poisons or,
Well, I
stuff
mean,
like
I
that.
think I think you would hope to have proven yourself
Okay.
in terms of your intentions, right?
Okay. Um, all right. Then I think I'll go for guises.
And guys, here is Ganri's notes and a little donation link again for you guys, so you can get to see his character sheet and personality and everything. Um,
That's weird.
you see double posts when I post.
Oh, yeah, I do, technically, I guess.
Yeah, it's just one goes to Twitch and one goes to.
Okay. And that one's getting cut off. I see what's happening. Okay. All right.
He nods. It should be yours to have.
Very grateful bow, if that's different than the super deep, respectful bow. But
It's usually with your pants down and turn the other way.
I've already drawn a nice red circle and lipstick for him. It's just
Right.
already.
Yoo-hoo. So you YouTube. So your tube anyway. So um, he's asked Harkin to attend to it, and he um, he nods to you, and he says, "You may take your leave."
Thank you. Where do these guys go? What's their like title? And stuff like my lord or my liege or whatever. What do you do when it's higher up in a temple?
Um, this I mean, calling anybody a lord or master is clearly just a sign of general respect. You know,
Okay.
if someone is very, we talked about propriety before the stream, right? We talked about propriety as a character trait in both PCs and NPCs. Someone of high propriety, believing greatly in propriety, would correct you if they were not actually a nobleman, part of the aristocracy, because that's not technically correct. It's just a form of speech.
Gotcha.
Um,
But
but
master's a nice neutral one that sort of just gives a recognition of expertise or experience or
social position.
sure. Okay.
Uh,
We'll do master then. That's fine. I don't
okay.
think I have an objection to that.
And that's when the TARDIS appears, and it's the master.
What is K9 doing here?
Exactly. So, um, Harkin takes you out, and he says to the guard, he says, "Take this one to the courtyard and give him his weapons back when you get there." He turns to you and says, "You can wait for your little gift there, but don't get ahead about it." And he actually just kind of shoves you.
All right. Well, I'm not very happy about that, but I'm also not going to try to rock the boat in the middle of this. So kind of give him a little nod and head with the guard down to the courtyard.
um, You clearly have earned this guard's respect just because of the company you keep. He's kind of stealing glances at you and kind of, trying to take you in, you know what I mean? Like trying to figure you out. And so down you down you go. He takes you out to the
You mean down he goes?
down he goes, buddy. It's time for your other gift.
Yes, take me all in.
Is it true what they say about dwarves? Every damn word of it, sir. Every damn word. So
Uh-oh, is the character sheet link not working?
anyone else open character sheet? Someone answer Kelly for us and let us know if there are problems with
I'm
opening.
gonna try to open it. I mean, I know I'm the one that put it up there initially, but I'm gonna see if it'll. Oh wait, that
Left
one.
or open the notes,
Oh, I can't do it through this chat.
idiot.
I can't click on it through there.
I wonder if I don't think I can. No, I can't either. Because for mine in the studio view, it allows you to show the chat, but I can't. I can't. Karen can't open it, but Karen, I guess Obi-Wan Karen is probably on a phone.
You know what? Let me try this real quick. What are
Oh,
most people on YouTube right now? Is that where most people are at?
yeah, it seems that way.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me see if I can post the link directly there. If that will do. Okay, and get a craner, and I gotta. Okay, that will do. Pause it real quick. Okay, and let me go into my drive real quick. All right, let's try this. Huh. It didn't post as a hyperlink.
Well, I guess the question: can they? Of course, I guess I don't know about cutting and pasting for for those who are having trouble, but I don't know.
I'm doing the get link thing, but I don't know if that's not. I'm not gonna waste too much time doing this, but
Right. Well, we can fix it in post.
I'm gonna post the other one just in case they can get it there. Uh, all right, try those and see if those work any better. I'm just gonna do the adventure log and the personality notes. All right, I am back.
All righty. So let me. I gotta go back up here. What's that doing? Weird. Lots of people seem to be having trouble with it. So um, an acolyte some minutes later comes down, is sort of scanning, carries a heavy spell book, and it's a girl somewhat younger than you, probably 14 years of age. Um, and she says, are you Sir Master Ganri?
Aye.
Then this is for you with the temple's gratitude.
For a nod. Thank you.
So the book is 10.5 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, spell books are heavy. And I'll send you that after the stream. I'll send you the spells that are available to you in that.
Perfect. And the names of those guys too. I haven't stopped to take any notes yet. I'm gonna try to just play through, if and then jot it down as soon as we're done. I think.
Well, you can
Unless,
always just hit play and just.
that's true. I didn't think about that.
I have learned. I have started doing little check marks of events, just basic events, and that has really helped me after the fact. Just a whoosh, go through my notes really fast.
Yeah.
So basically, all that you've done right now that you need to mark is the discussion with Gabrus and receiving the tome.
And actually, I have a dry erase board right here beside me, so I can.
Right, sketch that on there. For anyone new to the stream, as you've seen, Karandrin is very detailed, and so players are encouraged to keep notes. And I've tried to find ways to make that easier for them and give them systems of organization that help because being an organic world and not just sort of an episodic one like many role playing games, that means that this Gabrus character that I created last night. He exists now. He exists. He will hopefully remember Ganri and their encounter and their discussion, and they will. And if he comes back, it will be the same character, the same personality traits. Um, they'll have the same appearance and so on. And so,
And
uh,
could you ask him to stay out of my DMs? I mean, I know that we just met and everything, but
just stay out of your DMs.
yeah, I mean, he's
Everybody
well.
is welcome inside this DM. Just everybody. Just have at it.
Terrible.
Man, woman, beast. Um, um, Josh, still getting a closed file.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll fiddle with that after.
Sure.
I guess I should head back out and see if my coachman is still on the street.
Oh yeah, that's he's like I said, he's as we said last time, Ganry's hired a coachman for the day, and the coachman doesn't care. I mean, it'll be um, he'll be fine unless he's a thief and he just rides off with your money, obviously, and
Right.
but essentially it's an easy day for him. Um, um, so out you go. Um, and yeah, he's waiting there just fine.
Abathonian, right?
Right, Abathonian, which is a race of men. That Abathonia is a race of northern men, large guys, averaging 6'3" or so, and they're a stocky, powerful, mannish race to the north in an area, sort of not unlike Canada, like northern areas of Canada, Alaska, things like that, where you do have um, short growing seasons, not a ton of sun, things like that. So, um, um, anti Amazons, that's hilarious. No, they don't deliver packages. You're right. They're not Amazons in any way. Um, so, um, roll for me. I need a roll actually.
64. You owe me 5.
That's funny. Curious expression passes his face as you come down. Um, he says, "Sir, I don't want to be involved in anything, but um, seems like a couple of people from the temple are giving you an eye as you're leaving."
I won't turn around to.
Overtly.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to turn actually, but as I approach him, curious or hostile is what I'll ask him.
That's more of an answer than I can give, sir.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say hostile, though.
I could tell earlier, didn't care much for that drink I gave you. How about you take us somewhere where you like where they serve what you like, and I'll give it a go. Sorry, I'm having trouble getting that sentence out for some reason. It's on me.
You're an easy fare, sir. I'd be happy to take you there. Um, he gets in, you get in, off he goes. Roll for me.
That's going to give us a 41.
You're smart enough to consider the idea of you want to sit, I assume, facing the back.
Yeah, there's a. This is fully enclosed, though, right?
It's fully
This.
enclosed.
Okay.
It's a coach, not a carriage.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But there are windows, and
Yeah.
so with a little head lean, um, so he turns northward, which is surprising because that's going to be the higher end of town, and he didn't strike you as a higher kind of guy.
Okay.
Um, roll for me.
71.
Yeah, you don't really see any evidence that you're being followed um, or anything. Um, the city is, here, nice homes, high end areas of luxury shops, things like tailors and silversmiths and goldsmiths and jewelers and things like this. Um, there are, theaters and large performance venues. Um, uh, but sure enough, he finds a way, sort of wiggling his way around all these posh places to find this little more sort of rundown place, sort of region, neighborhood, maybe the better word. And there he pulls it up, and the clearly the stable boys have seen him many times and know him very well. They know the horses by name, the two horses that he uses, and they know him by name, and they give the horses special treatment, right? And and they bring out some little feed for the horses, and water and everything, and tie them up, and they start brushing them and stuff, and they leave all the tack on, but so it's just a cozy pub. Not unlike, it's probably a little more upper end than what you had in your tiny little town on the coast.
Right.
Um, and so, um, hmm, and I'm just gonna post a real basic one up here. Um, roll
Hey,
again for me.
was the was the after I looked, make sure we weren't being followed? Was the ride over long enough to take a quick peek at the tome?
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. Yeah, although I'm not sure you would want to. I mean, I think you would be maybe
I
a
may have
little.
been too concerned with making sure that
Yeah,
A, we
I
weren't
would.
being followed, and then
I
B, just figure out where we were. So,
right. I guess, I mean, but you are going to have time here soon enough, so I might as well just open up the old list of spells here. Um, oh, there they are. Um, well, that's a good way to mistype that word. Um, uh, shoot. Well, that's an interesting challenge. Oh, right here.
uh-huh. Karen. Stay on target.
That's hilarious. Mm. Mhm. Oh, great. Now we're going to have to look this one up. I must have it written out but not typed up.
Is it
Shoot.
somebody's name?
What are you asking?
What you were having to look up? Was it somebody's name?
No, I was looking up guises.
Oh, gotcha. Let's tell him.
Hmm. That's right.
That's the New Jersey tome.
You use guises?
Use guises, wise
Use.
guises.
I like that. Um. All right. So, um, the tome is fantastic, though. I can tell you, the spells in it are fantastic. I mean, you're
Give
gonna
me,
love it.
give me the quick 7-minute QVC pitch.
Um,
Uh, can you?
are you, are you tired of being recognized by friends and enemies alike? Well, now there's guises, a spell list for various types of spellcasters that can make your appearance change instantly. That's right. Tired of looking like a troll? Well, now you can look worse like than a troll and look like Mitch McConnell. All right.
I'm receiving angry messages from turtles. I don't know if those are.
Isn't that a Pokemon? So
Is that Squirtle?
it is. It is. Matt gets. So so you go in, cozy little bar. Um, um, as you guys are walking to the door, I should have you roll first. So roll for me.
Sorry, I have my text up there. 44.
Um, your driver, your coachman is definitely bothered, definitely concerned, and he's glancing back the way he came, and you guys keep walking.
Problem.
The same one, I'm afraid. But let's talk more inside, huh?
Hi.
He heads inside. You pass through cozy little place, like I said. Um, Not very busy right now. About half full. Um, um,
Did
Fairly quiet.
the
Hasn't broken into song or anything. Of course, most people are still working their day and that sort of thing. Only people who have had odd breaks or sneaking away from work are really here, because by this point we're talking about pretty well mid-afternoon.
uh, this is for Jenny, even though she's not playing. She would definitely ask if she were. What was the name of the place?
Oh,
She loves Kevin's names. The names he comes up with, the people and places.
it's called Piter's Arch. Pyter. Lots with
EYT.
the S.
Okay.
I can type it for you in our private chat,
All right.
except that of course.
Get this freaking thing. There we go. Got it.
Um, how savvy is this guy? Not terribly savvy. So, he wants to sit like fairly deep in, but roll. Let's see what your preference is. I don't know how.
61.
Your thought is to sit really close by the door and just completely sort of blow them if the people following you just come in the door.
Okay. Try and give him a. I know he's headed back that way, but if I can give him just a
Yeah,
slight tug
yeah.
and just kind of point.
He says, "Oh, aye, I see your game." So you both sit sort of facing the door. He's like, "Sir, I don't. You've been more than generous, and I'll return what money you insist. But I don't want to get mixed up in anything undue.
I
There's
wouldn't put you in it.
there's four of us. Four of them following us now, swapping out, changing locations, and what. If I hadn't thought to look at every corner, as we turned, and I could catch a glimpse down the way.
All the way from the temple?
Unless I'm very much mistaken.
And by the garb, would you say they're from the temple?
No, sir. Not dressed in any particular fashion. Some dress shabby, some dress nice, some dress like you and me.
Dwarves?
Aye.
Curious.
Sexy.
Uh, I'll keep an eye on the door. What are we having?
I know you might be used to fancier, fancier makes and whatnot, but um, I, I've always been partial to. Oops, there goes my die. Partial to a quick shot of fire barrel.
Anything I'm familiar with?
Oh yeah, it's served everywhere. It's not high end. It's fairly average, maybe a little on the low end side. But for the cost, it is. You get more than what you pay for.
Okay, fair enough. Is there anything when I've had Fire Barrel in the past? Do I tend to drink it with anything else, or chase it, or is it just sort of a? Is it more of a shot than a sipping drink? I'm assuming by the name.
Yeah, it's just a shot.
Okay.
It's gonna be great. You're gonna get him drunk and have no means of escape.
Uh, no, but we probably should keep our wits about it. So we probably should just have one and let it sit for a minute, I guess.
One, one barrel it is, sir. I read you truly. One barrel.
One large water skin apiece. That's all.
I love Muppet Treasure Island and Billy Connolly on there. As Billy Bones. He's got that line, rum, rum, rum until I float. I love it. So great. Um, so that's 6 copper for a pair of shots. It gets slapped down. But just as it gets there, um, dwarf walks in. Um, um, Dressed fairly shabbily. Um, um, Average height, stocky, ugly cuss. Um, Gray hair, uh, clearly an old timer. Um, Beard down to his belt. Um, Hair down to his neck. Um, lot of color in the shabbiness of his dress. Um,
Cut a glance over to my driver and kind of give him a, is that one of them? Kind of, head nod there.
yeah, you sort of glance at him, and he kicks your foot. Um, he is not, you've sort of faced some danger in your life, and he's not done as much. Um, and so his eyes kind of go wide, and sort of has a hard time, not just totally broadcasting the fact. Roll for me
45. Well, I'm hitting the 40s a lot today.
and roll for me again.
56.
Your feeling is his age has definitely taught this guy some tricks. His eyes meet yours, pass right over without flinching. I mean, there's not a movement, and he goes and just sort of gives the place a once over. His uh, he paused just for a moment inside the door, kind of getting his bearings, and he strides on.
Um, what's the arrangement of our table? Do we have an open chair here?
Um, oh yeah, you get a couple open, yeah. Usually it's I don't know why I just always envision them, except for like really big groups, of course. I just assume there's sets of seating for four.
I kind
Most
of think the same thing. Isn't that kind of weird? I don't
yeah,
know if that's standard or
yeah. I don't know why it would be. I mean, that is like one of those tiny little details you can change culture by culture, and it matters. You'll feel it matter to your players if you change those little cultural details. So, um, um,
I'd like to do two things if I have time. I know you said he gave the once over and then started,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we're close to the door. Um, so sort of leaning into the Abathonian there, take a piss, and then sort of turn my head towards the dwarf that just came in. Um, buy you around.
Abathonian gets up. Um, heads to probably outside. In all honesty, I mean, there's probably some sort of bathroom out back.
Yeah.
Um, 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 he looks around trying to locate the voice.
Just his gaze when he's looking around, does it pass in my direction?
It almost goes to you, like he's just a little past you, and so it doesn't quite reach you, and it snaps the other way, and then goes back to you, and like he's just trying
Okay.
to figure out where it came from, and that may be his age.
Do we have a term that we use for old timers? It's not derogatory. It's kind of a, you know, I mean, is it old timer? Or
Um, should do the what's the one from the Hobbit Gaffer? Um, this is where I should hop to my cultural database and add these little things like when I answer a question. So you need to make a note of this so that I can add it to my cultural database.
gotcha.
Um, Tougher, Tuffer, and clearly it's a derivation of the dwarven word for tough. For hardened, but that's at least the English equivalent of it.
Okay. Oi, tougher, over here.
Um, he turns. He looks you up and down. I'll not be having any charity. Not at all. I can pay for my own. And he just storms off.
Okay.
Roll
Oh,
for me.
nearly deader. Okay, that's a good one.
That's
Uh,
funny.
a hot four. Is this an open ended?
It is.
Okay. Let's give that a. It's a negative 46.
That guy was so hot. I mean, angry that you're like, he may look like one of the guys following us,
But that wasn't him, huh?
but that wasn't him. Jeez. Um, so he goes and he casts one more angry look over his shoulder. He orders a beer from the bar, and he goes quite a ways off.
All right. Um,
You should just pursue him mercilessly with drinks. Just no, I want to.
just keep sending them. I don't go myself. They just keep showing up at his table. All
Right.
right. Yeah.
From the Abathonian.
Oh God.
He comes back from taking a piss, and that dwarf is ready to swing on him.
That's
How
hilarious.
how sad are our lives that not only do we think of practical jokes to perform on friends and family, but also on fictional characters. But please continue.
Um, hmm. Let's. My guy's still outside. I've already settled up for the drink that we had.
Yeah.
Let's head outside. I only had really one more errand, and I don't want to put this guy out. If he's already getting kind of flustered or whatever.
Well, he's getting nervous. He's going to get arrested.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what
Okay.
he's worried about. He doesn't know who's following him, and he didn't want to get in a knife fight with somebody once they go down an alley. Of course, now he's avoiding alleys. I assure you of that.
Um,
He's going to be using the interstate all the way home.
fantastic. All right. Well, I'll step out and see if I can find him first. And obviously, I'm being more aware or trying to be more aware than usual as I'm walking around.
Oh, interesting. You you head out, and the coach is gone.
That'll do. Is there a doorman at this place?
No, but there are the stable boys and so on.
Okay. Yeah, head back there. Any of you lot fetch me a coach?
Oh, hang on just a minute, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
Roll for me.
6. So I don't have to go. I don't have to roll again. That's as low as you can go without going negative.
Man, where is Max? In the stream when we need him to mock you for your terrible rolls,
Love it.
for his multi. You know what? You and I didn't even pre-stream. You and I didn't talk about all of his fumbles. Oh man,
Has he had some doozies lately?
on the last stream, you don't remember?
I might have. That might have, was it in the second half?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I
he,
missed the second half. So
yeah, he. Oh man, you gotta watch that last 15 minutes or whatever. Him just fumbling and fumbling and fumbling.
oh
Oh, and
my
I
word.
told him, and I need to tell you that I'm going to do a new spell fumble system to make it a little forgiving.
Okay.
Quinn had mentioned a long time ago when I mentioned to him the system that he was like, it seems a little too dangerous, and I kind of agree with that in a sense. And so what I'm thinking about is to add a greater variety. And you may remember that you remember me showing you that kind of pyramided, the hourglass kind of table. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I think that does ring a bell actually.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking to finally implement. I just need to get my button gear and get that done, as well as get you this spell list written up. Um, um,
It's actually
so
already written up. It's just in disguise.
right. Um, all right. Well, give me another roll because uh,
Okay, 15. Is that any better?
geez, it's only technically, only
Only by the existence of the number 9. Is that any better?
exactly. Um, So you turn around to the stables, and this boy I mean, really a very young. I mean, 10-year-old probably. Probably 3 feet high. Comes running out of the stables, just not looking where he's going, a little breathless, and just kind of plows into you. Um, and 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 so he's like,
Human,
"Oh, huh?
human boy,
No, dwarven."
Corbin. Oh,
Is
oh there, lad.
sorry. Oh, sorry, sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. What? I was sorry, sir. I should have been watching.
Why are you running?
Oh, duty, sir. If there's anything I can do for you, though,
I'm looking for a coach.
roll for me.
Would you like another 15? Because I rolled another 15. I have two 15s. They're different colors, but
See you, Quinn. Love you, man. Talk to you soon.
bye, buddy. Oh, Quinn was logging off, so we were saying goodbye.
Um, wow. All right. Well, you're fantastic. Your guess is the kid was probably running to like catch a smoke, sneak a drink, something like that.
Okay.
Um, so, a coach, sir? May I
Aye.
call you one?
Yeah, hand him a copper. Aye. Take a coach.
Roll for me.
74.
Do you want to ask him if he witnessed anything, or do you
Um,
care? Because you kind of figured out. I mean, you're kind of running on the assumption that um, you know, he just, he bolted. He just couldn't take the pressure anymore. So either way, man, it's up to you.
yeah. Um, yeah, so I'll hand him the copper. Are you sure nothing happened?
Oh, nothing, sir. Nothing at all. But I really got to get about my business, eh? And
Ah,
he's clearly glancing back toward the stables,
yeah.
and he runs off.
Okay. I'll, so I've turned, I'm assuming, the side of the thing to go towards the back where the stables are. Is that how the setup is?
Let's see. Or how I should do this. How does one roll such a question? I think that would be the most common. So you just roll if it's unusual, and then you just kind of make it up from there. So it's not an unusual design. So this one has, from your place. Well, I guess as you're facing the tavern, um, there's it must be an inn really to have stables, to bother with stables for overnight keep. So really, it must be an inn. But there's so yeah, as you're facing it around to the right, stables face the side of the thing, sort of making a wide alleyway.
So we were on sort of a main street it's fronted to, right? And is it a side street down, or is it another main street?
I
It's
mean,
just
it's probably really just an alley,
okay.
and they, they built such that they had enough room for horses and so on. It doesn't look wide enough for a coach to go comfortably down. So coachmen probably, if they're guarding things, guards probably sleep, on the coach. Maybe take shifts, that kind of thing.
Okay. I will back. So he's run right
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
So I'm going to sort of back that way. I will you know take one glance behind me, but I'm just going to kind of back that way and put my primary hand down to my wand.
Rod.
My rod. Sorry, I said wand. Yeah, rod. My bulging disc.
That's it. Yeah. I'm gonna do this. Do you have a spell in mind?
I am thinking. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about teleport.
Oh, interesting.
I My character's psyche, given our last encounter, is that um, you know if I'm in a situation that I can try to escape without causing harm, especially in a city, I think that's the part that I hurt innocent people, and because I acted in a rash fashion in an area I didn't take my surroundings into consideration.
Right.
Right? I wasn't out in the wilds. I wasn't in some dungeon. I wasn't in an open plain. I was in the city. I was surrounded by a bunch of civilians and buildings that could easily catch fire. So I think part of that is Ganri's now thinking, okay, I have other means at my disposal, to remove myself from this. Now, obviously, I think if I'm in a situation where it's a zombie or it's a snarling beast, okay, that's different. I'll probably just attack it. But if it's people and there's innocent people around, and probably my first impulse is going to be like, okay, get away from the people, don't hurt them.
Okay.
I've already killed enough of those for this year.
Next year's another story.
Yeah, let that calendar roll around. You guys are in trouble. I'm gonna burn the whole city next time.
That's right. I'm gonna shift this bad boy. Shift my camera down a little bit. Not that it matters because then it slides down. All right. Well.
The rod aids with the distance and the fumbles on traveling spells because the traveler's rod. So,
Right.
and I've gone to the three torches enough times now. I feel like it's pretty well etched in, even though I would prefer to take more time. Um, push come to shove, I guess that'd be the thing to do.
Right.
And hopefully, I've got all the 15s and 6s out of my system. Sorry, I had to talk to my phone for a second.
No, I hear you. And stuff will mess with you, man. I mean, it's all fun and games till you put out a die. Um,
You've opened a portal to the Night Taker. God damn it!
no sound or anything coming from the thing other than the sound of horses.
Okay, just steady, not fast, not slow, just steadily backing up and taking the occasional glance. I don't, trip over a
Sure. I mean, you do that really well. Now, what's your end point here? What's your goal backing up?
I just want to get to the corner by the front street, take a quick sort of flip around so that my back is to the front wall of this thing.
Okay.
And I'm just going to act like I'm waiting for my carriage to show up so that I can glance around the corner fairly easily if I need to, right? So I'm hoping to back, spin. I'm facing the street now, right? And then I can just do that.
To the stables.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't make it very far down the stable lane, right? So you achieved that very quickly.
Okay.
But that boy is not on the street waving down a coach for you. He hauled ass.
All right. What do I see people wise out here in front of the tavern? Inn, sorry. In front of Piter's Arch.
It's a mix of relatively lower middle class and upper class as they pass through to the surrounding wealthier areas of town. Not seen a coach in a while. Don't see one on the street yet.
What other buildings am I seeing around? I know you described earlier that was up more upper scale, but do I see anything like a?
Not here. Remember, this is sort of a lower end neighborhood, lower middle class. Although middle class really didn't exist for many centuries. So it's not the poorest area of town. It's it's just a poor area of town. So you get sort of the typical shops and markets, some open air places, some, it's selling wares and services and things like that. Um, while you're looking around, um, the other stable boy that met you guys as you arrived mere minutes ago. Um, um, I should have you roll. Why don't you roll?
One moment. Let me roll again. -2.
Fantastic. Um, but the kid comes running, um, stops when he sees you, and his eyes go wide. Um, and he just radiates, just broadcasts, caught. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And outed, or so what do you want to do?
How many are there?
Fire about no.
Just without raising my voice or trying to alarm him too much, I just want to say, how many are there?
Well, he's rounded the corner of the
Oh, he's
far
already
corner.
gone. He didn't stop. He didn't
No,
pull
he
up.
did. He stopped. So he's actually beyond the door to the tavern. So
Okay, on the
he's
other side, coming around from the other
yes,
way. Okay.
yes,
Um, so too far away to talk to at a. I'd have to raise my voice to.
yes.
Okay. Um, what's directly across? Is there any the businesses across the street like any of those open air
Um,
or like a
yeah,
blacksmith or a weapon shop or anything? I mean,
there is. There's a clothier dealing in just fabrics and clothing. They have sort of samples of what they do. Generally you buy things to be made, and but they have piles of fabric out, and they've got samples of what they can do in terms of cloaks and shirts and pants and dresses and things like this, and they have them actually sort of tacked out up on boards, and then you might have a pile of fabric down below showing you the fabrics that they can be made in. Um, so
does it look busy or does it have
yeah, it's pretty good, pretty busy. You'd have to squeeze by some people.
and there's a lot of things that sort of obstruct the view.
Certainly, if you bent down to tie your shoe, the piles of cloth would practically hide you.
Let's head over there.
Now
Um,
look, now here's the other way to consider it, given your track record. There's a lot of flammable stuff over there.
Also true, but if I catch stuff on fire trying to teleport, we have a totally different.
Right, a totally different day.
Yeah, um, yeah. I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna walk at a steady gait, and I'm not gonna look behind me. I'm gonna cross directly over to that um, shop or
Roll for me.
stand, stall, whatever you want to call it. 31.
So, a quick idea that occurs to you is you could call to the boy and said, "Hey, you never got your tip," and then pull out a sizable coin.
Fair.
So that
Not a
occurs
terrible
to you,
idea.
but
Yeah, let's do
that just
that. I
occurs
will
to you.
pull out. Um,
50 gold.
I'll pull out a silver and say, "Hey, you never got your tip."
And for our viewers, a gold would get you room and board at an inn with a horse in stable for a month.
And so
Gold
a
is,
silver for this kid is going to be a
oh,
windfall.
silver is, yeah, a silver is going to pay for, a meal is about 2 to 3 copper in a city. And so that is, gosh, is that, so yeah, it's like 30 meals, almost 30 meals for his
Yeah,
family.
and that's true, Karen. Kelly, sorry.
What did you say?
You know, if you ignore the print on your shirt, you look like a floating head.
Yeah, it's crazy. This thing is actually dark blue. This little makeshift drop that we did back here,
But
which
it
was,
totally shows up as black, right?
it really does. And so, yeah, I'm just kind of, ooh, but it works. So, So
Good job, Obi-Wan Karen. She knows the system.
that's right. Um, he's
So obviously the silver in my offhand because my primary hand is still.
right,
Yep.
and you are right-handed, aren't you?
I'm fairly certain I am. I didn't look, but that feels
No,
right to me.
you're
My left.
left-handed. You're
Okay.
left-handed.
Then I stand corrected. My left hand, and then my right hand has the silver.
Why don't you make a note of that on your your dry erase board, jackass? Oh, that's fair. Um, a boy is torn, but he can't give that up, and so he runs. He like there's this moment of agony, and then he runs. Oh, sir, yes, of course, thank you.
So firm grip between the two fingers. So when he goes to take it, maybe he has to pull a little, and
The
when he
hell
has
with
to.
that, you could just snatch his hand. If you kneel down to give it to him,
Oh, that's true. Because I'm thinking of me being short, but I guess he's even shorter because he's a dwarf as well.
right.
Okay, all right.
And his sister is even shorter, and then her dog is even shorter, and the dog's child is shorter. The dog's child. Anyway, so I talk now.
Uh,
Oh, got a headache right
well,
there.
it couldn't be the dog's kid because we all know kids are goats. So
That's
that's
right. That's right. All right. I'm
uh,
gonna post. This is a nonfiction, but I'm gonna post donations. So remember that part of the donations goes to fix my 20-year-long headache, and hey, we appreciate them. So there you
um,
go.
all right. Yeah. So when he gets there to get it, yeah, I'm going to make sure that I get out to him and that he's forced to at least acknowledge it, if not answer it. How many are there?
Right. Um, got this little spider running around my notes. One of these tiny little like skittering guys who just keeps going. And like he's doing laps around this freaking cushion, this sofa seat. And so I'm going, I'm like, whoa, what was that? And I'll reach for my door. What was that? I'm like, and I've tried to kill him like 6 times and I keep missing his little ass.
You know what's funny is that's not actually a spider, but it did find your spell list for guises.
You know, it sure did. Geyser man. Um,
I'm not actually a horse. I'm a broom.
all right, roll for me. He cries out when you grab him.
52.
Um, so he gets some length of cry out before you clamp his mouth, if that's what you want to do.
Um, yeah, it's fine. Well, we'll do that because I do just want to at least see if I can get an answer to the question.
Um, he calms, you know, he relaxes.
All right, I'll
Take
relax my
off.
grip as he relaxes.
He said, um, "Two, sir. They cornered Keldry as soon as he walked out of the bar."
That name he just said, was that my driver?
You don't know. You didn't ask it
Okay.
because you are an entitled white dwarf.
All right. Yeah. Well, the tall people are here just to take care of our short people needs. We all know
Exactly.
that. Um, that's what my wife believes. I'm fairly certain. Right. Hey, tall person, reach all that stuff for me.
I know
Uh,
that feeling. And my short mother-in-law.
dwarves.
He nods. Two fellas.
Take it and get out of here.
He takes the silver and your rod and he runs off. No,
Hold
he
on.
takes the silver and he runs and he starts to run toward the stables and he stops. And he, it's like he doesn't know what to do now because apparently he knows there's trouble in the stable.
Go home.
He looks at his silver, hauls ass. Oh, hang on a minute. This is a very important roll for you. Would you please roll decently?
I will try my best. No pressure. No pressure. Hit it. What's good? Oh, I mean, what are we looking for here? What would
Well,
you
why
say?
don't you show me and then I'll tell you.
I mean, I understand that hindsight is 2020.
Oh my!
So, I mean, is that?
Wow.
Hmm.
He clearly checked the street and saw something he didn't like and changed course, just like he's like started taking a stride in his like first stride of his run, you know what I mean? And it's like, and you see his head jerk somewhere in that arc, I mean, like a huge, like 100-degree arc somewhere he was looking and you just missed it.
Okay, and that was
He runs off.
like across the street, not like down the street.
Well, the 110 degrees could go even to cross all the way to down.
I got you. So it definitely included the area I was thinking about going.
Well, it was where you were backing up toward until you got to the corner. It would be toward the alley, the next alley, the other end of the tavern, the other end of the inn.
Okay, so right now I'm at the front right corner of this place. Or we'll say that. Well, all right, let me just do this. Just want to make sure I got this.
Now, as you know, all dwarven inns are octagons, but they're irregular octagons, and if you don't get the shape exactly right, we're going to spend the rest of the stream with you drawing various geometric shapes until I'm satisfied.
All right, I know that's sloppy as hell, but oh shit, is that
That
kind of
says
right?
B. That says stables. Wait, what does the top word say?
Is it market?
Oh, that's market. That's stables. That's
Yeah.
you.
So
Where's the front street?
this is the front street, and that's the front of the bar. Is that right or no?
No, the stables would be off to the side.
Like here?
Let me see if I can launch. Where? Show me again. Yes. And so that's a little lane in between them.
Okay, I got you. So I had come down here.
Right, and backed up.
Okay.
The kid came from the other alley away from the stables.
Over here.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. And so he saw something, and then which way did he end up running? This way?
No. The other way.
Okay, gotcha. Um, but something caught his gaze over here.
Well, more
Or
like
caught his eye, not his gaze, caught his eye over in this art.
not that arc. Starting across the street
Okay,
and then sweeping across the front of the market and a little further down.
okay, gotcha. All right. I'm gonna start walking this way.
Uh, leave your hand lower and use your pen to point. Okay. All right. All right, you start walking that way.
I want to keep my eyes peeled. For the first place, I feel like, all right, I don't want to get too gamified with terminology here, but casting teleport with my wand is an action, or does it?
You can do it while walking.
I'm going to try to avoid that because I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be witnessed or surprise a bunch of people or whatever. But if I see a place where I feel like I could turn into a doorway, right?
Yeah.
Just to get a moment of I'm out of sight and then hopefully not have a bunch of people right in my face and then cast teleport. Even if it's an alley, I'm fine to do that. But I'm trying to get where it's like I won't startle a bunch of people. I don't want to be magic casting in town, right?
Right. Well,
Um,
I mean, honestly, though, it's worse to arrive and startle people, right? Because you're there and now they're all looking at you and you're surprised. And, right, leaving, so long as you successfully leave, they can be startled.
well, that's true. Okay. All right. Well, if I don't see anything promising fairly quickly, as soon as I feel like I don't have a ton of eyes on me, I am going to attempt to teleport.
All righty. Opportunity takes a while. There's a lot of rubbish and garbage just shoved into the alleys.
Yeah.
Um, so you're walking a good while. Are you going to make any effort to check behind you, or you're done with that part of it and you just want to go? You hurting?
Yeah, my hip. I'm going to try to gauge if I assume there's some traffic heading the opposite direction of me, foot traffic.
Okay.
I'm not going to do hardly any overt looking over my shoulder. I'm
Okay.
going to kind of look more at the faces of the people I'm walking into and see if I see any sort of a reaction from their faces.
Roll for me.
37.
It's possible you're getting some significant looks less veiled than they could be if they were any good at what they were doing. Um, so,
Mm,
but just and as that occurs, as you're walking, you're like, you're not seeing good options unless you actually go into a business,
all
and
right.
then you're risking the shopkeep. But
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to do it in the street. I think.
well, why not do it in a shop? It'll be one guy instead of 40.
Okay. Yeah. What am I walking by?
There's another clothier. There's a smithy here. Um, and he's got a bunch of guys entertained with his stories. He's taking a break from his work, putting something in the fire, and he's talking to. Apparently, it's sort of oh, the old crowd's back kind of a thing, and this sort of a regular drop by for them, and he just sort of goofs off with these guys of similar age and background, and so on. So there's a sense of they're distracted, right? And I'll
Okay.
walk to the far side of them while they're focused on him and his story. That's your best bet now, unless you want to keep walking.
I'll take it.
All right,
Yeah.
and you go. Um, and do it. All right. So first, where you going back to the inn, right? The Three Torches.
Yeah. I'm going back to the three torches. Same corner I've been shooting for my last half dozen or so.
Right.
Um, and yeah. So as soon as I'm in, I'm going to start thinking about my corner in the back room, going to the corner in the back room.
All right. So roll to cast.
Casting nets us. Thank God. Finally, good number. A 92. And then direction or
Very powerful cast. Well, let's just say you
Not
do
direction. What's it
roll
called?
again.
Okay. That's just a 63. What is that one
Something.
called? Not direction. It's kind of a fine
We
tunement.
call it sort of aim. We call it aiming, but it
Yeah.
really is, focusing on your location,
Okay.
holding it in your mind so that you can arrive there. Um, so, um, you cast it. The power surges through you. It leaves you, so there go some power points for you.
That's
Um,
10, correct? I'm fairly
yep,
certain. Okay.
and some exhaustion of
Yep.
10. In fact, you know what? No, we'll say 8. That was a good casting. Definitely a good casting, and definitely something is quashing your magic.
Oh my God. All right. That's not good. That's not good at all. And I've not experienced this before, right? Something quashing my
No,
magic. Okay.
no, it's very. In fact, you could leave yourself a mark there to. And there's a note like one of these sort of events, right? I mean, so your little list, conversation with the missing coach and stable boys, right? And then um, and then escape and attempted teleport, right? There's some quick notes, and then that will bring back to mind, as well as having a stream online, um, give you a sense of what to do.
Okay. So we got the group of guys and the Smith kind of gathered around over there.
Yeah. Um, they're about half of them now, kind of watching you curiously, but they're not alarmed. They're just like, "What'd that feller do?" I've not seen anybody do that. Just sort of take out an object and sort of mutter to himself, and then look back. And that guy's just acting curious. Like there's no alarm at all,
Okay.
but
Huh.
more of them paid attention to you, much more than you expected.
Sure. Oh, that's not what I meant to grab. And reach, like, swap the wand and grab that knife I got from killing the guy at the quarry
Yeah.
and head over. You guys ever seen a blade like this before? Be kind of loud about it.
Remind me what that blade is.
Yeah, it is.
It's really nice, right?
It is. It is a. It's a blue steel serrated, hilted plus 15 substance dagger.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
I figured that might be a good conversation piece, especially a place like this, a smithy, and it being blue steel and whatnot. But
Right.
I would just act like I just grabbed the wrong thing, right? Like
Right.
it's silly. I don't
Roll
know what I
for
had
me.
that in my hand for.
Let's roll an acting. Let's a little acting job here.
81.
No, nice. Yeah, the people don't seem to really um, um, yeah, I mean they all marvel at the item and they're impressed with it and so on. And there's several offers for it.
Can I angle myself so I can see the way that I walked in while I'm talking to them?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
In
As
fact,
I
because you walk past them, approaching them now means you are facing now back toward the tavern.
Okay. Yeah, I'm halfway listening to what they're talking about and their offers and that sort of thing, and I want to go ahead and put my hands on my Warmatic and just kind of put it to my side. I don't be super visible about it. Just kind of put it to my side. Yes, I have not. Sorry. Um, and just keep an eye on the entryway.
Um, the old guy from the bar is across the street. You guys catch eyes, and he nods at you and gestures you over. You're like, no.
I'll keep
Stranger
watching him.
danger. Stranger danger.
Stranger danger. All right, yeah. Keep eye contact with him, and obviously the hand that doesn't have the Warmac in it kind of reaches out. You know what, fellas? I think I'm going to hang on to this for a bit longer, but appreciate it. And guess I'll go see what all the commotion's about.
Mm-hmm. So you cross the way safely.
As I'm beginning to exit, can I see if the clasp of animation works? I just want it to hover just right beside, just a little test, so it looks like I could be holding it. Maybe not. I just want to see if that works.
Uh,
Because I quashed my spell casting, but I don't know if I'm curious if my magic items are deactivated.
I see what you mean.
So if I could do a little test to see if it would just float or not. Otherwise, it's just
Yeah.
like I dropped it and I can pick it up.
Well, as you walk, he's clearly eyeing the dagger that's still in your hand.
Oh, shit. Yeah. We'll put that away. That's fine.
Okay. And he's watching the Warmatic, because it's a Warmatic. It's a serious weapon, but it's not a quick weapon, you know, and obviously he knows what he's doing, and but yes, it does. Like as you kind of order it to float and follow you, it floats and follows you, and you can kind of you sort of tap it like you're like, is it still on my belt? But no, it's clearly got a sense of floating to it. It's like how you tap a balloon versus tapping something light on a table. There's a resistance there that you can feel, and here there's not resistance until it touches your belt loop, and um,
Perfect. And I'll kind of, you know, do my hand like, shit, the camera's there, like this, so it can kind of bump against the crook of my hand,
yeah,
with the thought that I'll get, 6 to 8 feet from him,
yeah.
stop to converse, and
Social distancing.
yeah, and then I can just kind of bump and back up if I need to, and it can be between with the concept to defend. Um, I guess that would be the command I would give it at that point, right? So,
Right.
all right, that's the intention. Oh, and for the people that did you explain the class of animation and the Warmatic? I have a magic item on my weapon that allows me to command it to basically defend me or attack in defense of me. And it will make it float or fly, and it has to be within a certain distance of me. Um, and it's a really cool little item, actually. The clasp of animation, well, and the Warmatic is too. It's a magic weapon as well, but it has this property because of the clasp. So.
Right. Um, um, as you come closer, he shows his hands. He's looking at you steady, and he's like, "We're done here. Just wanted to let you know. Smart of you going after the kids."
Who are you with?
He again, like he sort of more emphasizes his hands, and he steps closer to you. Are you gonna allow that? Are you gonna keep the distance?
Um, I'll let him get to within about 5 feet, maybe, and if he gets a little closer, then I might take one step back.
So that's your distance you're allowing. I got you.
Yeah.
So he sees you back up then because he was going to come rather close. So he actually kind of leans in and he says, "Not a lot is known about that creature you mentioned. Hmm? So the thought was maybe you were an agent of it."
I can understand that concern.
Well, your coachman put it out of our minds. We caught him mid piss. We gave him a bit of coin for our trouble. We didn't mean to scare anyone, you understand. Not mean to worry you, I mean to say. You can never scare a dwarf. I don't know why I would have a dwarf say that to another dwarf. Uh,
uh, I can understand covering all the angles. We're good?
I don't think you're any harm. And that'll be my word to the bosses. Hmm?
Fair enough.
Clever facing the door there at the tavern, trying to catch us flat footed.
I wish I could take more credit. The coachman actually caught you.
I told the fellas they were following too close.
Well, not to tell you your business, but you got some young ones on your rotation there, from the look of it. Not that I could speak much.
Well, takes all kinds to blend in, you know.
Fair.
Have a beer on us, huh? And he flicks you a silver. Um, and um, he he strides off.
All right. I'll put my hand around the Warmatic, kind of take a little breath out, go
Right.
ahead and deactivate the clasp. I will take another quick look around just to be sure.
Roll it.
uh, wakey, wakey. 86.
There are two guys, a guy and a gal actually, who have joined behind him. And you're like, that cloak that one of them is wearing, I know I saw that. That was on the street outside the tavern. I forget where. Couldn't tell you where it was.
But at some point, I passed across it. Okay.
Um, I don't know, Josh. This seems like a really good stopping place.
Hey, yeah, no, it's a fantastic spot. That was a nice little scene there.
Um, so here we are. Let's call it late afternoon. If you want to leave that on your notes,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll catch up on my notes as well. Um, as always, we appreciate everybody being here, hanging out with us, giving us a listen. Um, um, what say you, Josh? Don't they love us?
Well, at least they don't dislike us.
Exactly. Exactly.
It was a lot of fun tonight. Great session. I hope everyone else enjoyed listening along and exploring the world of Karandrin. I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate you, Kevin, for all the hard work you do as game master, and
Thank you.
had lots of fun. And looking forward to it again next Tuesday.
That's right. Next Tuesday we'll be streaming. We're gonna keep it up as long as our pathetic health will enable. Kelly said she hates us both. Um, well, again, thank you to everyone. This has been Karandrin Role Playing with Josh Waters, and I'm Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Crack Palantir. All the typical stuff, right? Like, subscribe, spread the word. You'll see a donate link down there in the chat, as well as in the description of both the videos on YouTube and Twitch. At least visit the donate page and see the funny crap that I put on there because it makes me sniggle. And so next week with Josh playing Ganri, of course, next Tuesday. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, will be Breese's episode 2, played by Max, my good buddy. And I hope you'll all join us for those. And we're excited at this new venture, and we can't wait to see you guys tomorrow night and next week. So thanks a lot, everybody, and we'll see you next time. So we appreciate